I don't want to leave the Tucker subject without showing you a little bit of his interview with Elon Musk last night. I don't know if you caught any of this, but this was the soundbite making the rounds on Twitter, and it's a good one. It's about the downsizing, shall we say, that Elon's done at Twitter since taking over. Listen here.
What percentage of your staff did you fire at Twitter? One of the great business stories of the year.
I think we're about 20% of the original size.
So 80% left.
Yes. Turns out you don't need that many people to run Twitter.
But 80%? That's a lot.
Yes. If you're not trying to run some sort of glorified activist organization and you're not care that much about censorship, then you can really let go of a lot of people, turns out.
That was funny. I love that Tucker laughed. It was funny. And people are like, he laughed at the layoffs at Twitter. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of those people just left, actually. Which,
a lot of people
created a circumstance that made them want to leave, I suppose, which I suspect was probably strategic. But yeah, they kind of left.
But it's also crazy because I saw the first time I've seen the clip. I've read it this morning and I saw it last night being mentioned, and Tucker evilly laughing about these layoffs. And it's because it's Elon. Like, no one has said much about the fact that Facebook has fired, 23,000 people in the past year?
Yes.
11,000 the last round, 12,000, something like that. 20.
These companies are famously bloated.
They're bloated.
Yeah.
And there was these kids, do you see these videos on TikTok of these people doing their days? Like, I work at Facebook and I just go get my smoothie and then I go get a back rub and it's like, does this woman work? And then they had a video of the same person and she was like, I got fired today. This is so wrong. I was like, you just made a video, but how you don't do anything? You kidding me? It's like, I would laugh at you. I was laughing at the first video and I was crying at the second one. Crying, laughing.
You were
like,
begging to be fired.
Yeah, but like it's Twitter. How much do they need? How many people do they need to run that thing?
Apparently, many fewer.
Yeah.
Look,
and you know what? It's like this is the problem with overstaffing. You know, I remember seeing this at NBC. There were too many people for too few responsibilities, and it leads to backbiting. It leads to nastiness. People have too much time to twiddle their thumbs and go on Twitter and write nasty things and generate little campaigns against one another. At Fox News, that shit never happened because we were always undermanned.
I've heard Peter Thiel talk about like these leading tech companies and how rather than being these hubs of innovation, like plenty of them are pretty much just like financial institutions. To the extent you invested in them and you're looking for a return, it's sort of like a bank.
Yeah.
Like it's a safe place to park your money. But for the most part, like glorified activist organizations, whether or not that's the best description, I don't know.
I think it's probably right.
But in a lot of respects, yeah, kind of.
Hubs of narcissism.
Now, Elon's tenure at Twitter has been very interesting to watch. I remember early on, not necessarily being of the belief that he's going to save free speech online, but certainly thinking in general, like a little bit of disruption here is probably good. And a lot of the public proclamations about we're going to be transparent, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And the reality is that he actually hasn't managed to deliver on some of those things. And in other cases has made a lot of, if not kind of outright overt acts of censorship, like the most recent dust up with Substack.
That was
just
weird.
Kind of at a minimum, like a bizarre self-own.
And Matt Taibbi, who, you provide access to these Twitter files. And then
and Barry, like they both have these weird falling outs, which were completely unnecessary. And I think I have so much respect for Elon as an entrepreneur. And even that is perhaps a controversial opinion, but Tesla and SpaceX are sort of remarkable.
They're amazing companies.
That's what he said. Camille, he was saying, he goes, running Twitter's not hard. The Twitter is not hard. Building cars is hard. Getting to space is hard. This isn't that hard. I don't miss the 80%. And so it's like, exactly right. He's not looking for perfection. He did say to Tucker, I want to make Twitter the least bad place on the internet, something like that, or the least untrustworthy place on the internet, something like that. Go ahead, Matt.
Just a little bit better.
It's what will be hard is making that $44 billion pay.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time believing that. There's a sense of the place that it's not nearly as fun as it was. And actually, so Substack started its own little kind of social media-ish thing. This is what caused the beef with Elon Musk, called Notes, and it's funny to watch all these people who contributed to making Twitter an intolerable place come over to Substack Notes and start doing the same thing. Like they're trying to mow the people who run Substack.
Name names, Matt.
To be more censorious.
Name names, you coward.
That's the thing, though, is that when he says that I'm going to make this the least bad place on the internet, and you see what Substack has done with Notes, and by the way, we're not promoting our dear, lovely overlords at Substack. It's just a thing they have. I haven't really tried it yet. But you realize that there is no way to make anything the least bad place on the internet because everybody is horrible.
My theory of
people are terrible.
My theory of online, this is true of blogging, this is true of Twitter, this is true of everything. As soon as the journalists find it, then it's ruined. It's ruined within 6 months.
Mud water is a coffee alternative with 4 adaptogenic mushrooms and Ayurvedic herbs. With just a fraction of the caffeine that's in a cup of coffee, you're going to get the energy from a cup of coffee without the jitters or the crash. Each ingredient was added for a purpose. Cacao and chai for mood and a hint of caffeine. Lion's mane to support focus. Cinnamon for its antioxidants, and much, much more. Mud is Whole30 approved, 100% USDA organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher certified. Mudwater donates monthly to the Berkeley Center for the Science of Psychedelics, as Mudwater believes the country is in a mental health epidemic and sees psychedelics as useful tools for individuals with depression, PTSD, anxiety, and other mental health problems. Go to mudwater.com, that's spelled mud, WTR.com/Megyn, to support the show and use code MEGANMUD for 15% off. Mudwater.com, spelled MUDWTR.com/Megyn, and use that code MEGANMUD for 15% off your order. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.